This is a little film about the making of Russell Newbery DM or D series cylinder heads. This is the raw casting as it comes in, and this is what we get from the foundry. There's some markings on the top to help you position it on the tooling, and if I turn it over you will see the location marks. There they are. There's one here, here and here. This is the location marks. As you can see, the waterway holes are already cast in and the push rod holes are also cast in. This is the exhaust port. This is a little film about the making of Russell Newbery DM or D series cylinder heads. This is the raw casting as it comes in, and this is what we get from the foundry. There's some markings on the top to help you position it on the tooling, and if I turn it over you will see the location marks. There they are. There's one here, here and here. This is the location marks. As you can see, the waterway holes are already cast in and the push rod holes are also cast in. This is the exhaust port. Right, this is the tooling or fixture which we fix the cylinder head to. This is the fourth axis on the big CNC machine, and this is all the tools under here, if I can get a picture of them, that are used to machine the cylinder head. And here is the head waiting to go on. This is the cylinder head mounted on the fourth axis, ready for machining. It's been checked for alignment and squareness, and it's pretty well in the right place, although it's a piece of tooling with location points, and you still have to check that it is actually on the points properly and square and true and ready to start. This is the program in the machine. This is showing some location points and the position of the machine at this time. Tool, it's showing tool 16 because that's a previous tool I used for a small hand op, we'll see later. And it's ready to go. If I press the relevant buttons, off it will start. You can see it starting. It makes quite a bit of noise. This is it machining the inlet valve cage cover face. This is now machining the decompressor lever hole. Now doing a tool change, and it's going to rough the inside of the inlet valve cage aperture. These machining operations go on for a little while, so I don't film them all the way through. That makes for a very boring film. This is now centre drilling the holes for the 3 screws that hold the cover plate on. This, by the way, is the first operation that we do on the cylinder head, which is both ends. It then goes on to some more tooling later on, which does the sides. So we're just doing either end at the moment. That's the centre drilling done. We'll now drill the holes. 3 holes. This is the last of the 3 holes. We'll let it run through, and then you'll see it actually tap the holes. Holes are being tapped 1/4 inch BSW. operation you'll see is the form tool. Now this form tool is specially made for these cylinder heads, and it produces about 3 different sizes, diameters all at the same time. Produces the diameter where the valve sits, the face for the valve seat, the diameter for the combustion chamber, and the diameter for the valve cage, and also the face where the valve cage actually sits on, all in one operation. It's an expensive form tool, and it takes some time to do this operation, so I won't film it all. I'll film it somewhere near towards the end, and later on you'll see what it's actually done to the cylinder head when we can, after the machining operation. This is the final stage of the form tool boring operation. Just coming to the end now. I've reduced the speed and the feed, and just the final little bit. I slow it right down so that we don't get any chatter marks in the finished head. The machine is now spot facing or spot drilling the 4 holes that hold the valve cage in place. This is prior to a small counter boring operation, then the drilling operation, then the tapping of the holes. This is counter boring. This is the drilling operation, much the same as the counter boring operation, except it just takes a bit longer. It's the last of the 4 holes. Now it's the tapping operation of the 4 holes. Notice it's got an extended tap holder. There we go, tapping in. It does that 4 times. We're now seeing the next operation, which is on the other side of the cylinder head. It's now selecting the facing milling cutter, facing mill. It's turned the head over, and it's now going to machine the face off the other side. Again, quite noisy. This is drilling the mounting plate holes, which will end up 5/16 BSW. Cover plates, the exhaust valve cover plate and the water jacket cover plate. Now going to tap the holes. Now going to machine in some little dowel holes, which are used for the second operation to locate the fixture plate on the end of the cylinder head. So these don't actually have any function as far as the cylinder head is concerned. They're just simply location holes for fixture. Here we are. I've turned the 4th axis round, so you can actually have a look down where the form tool has been and the holes that have been drilled. This is the 3 holes for the mounting plate, cover plate for the valve, inlet valve. This is the decompressor hole. This is all the combustion chamber in here with the valve cage diameter. These are the 4 holes that hold the valve cage on. I've turned it round now so you can see the other side. This is the exhaust side. This is the exhaust valve cover plate, 2 mounting holes, one here, one here. This is the 2 dowel holes I was talking about. I look for the fixture plate. This is the water space or water jacket cover plate. These are the 2 mounting holes here for this plate.